Any particular purpose? Is it a hobby? Is it a research project? Anything like that?
I don't know yet at the minute.
Okay.
Just sort of flying around, see what happens.
Right. I understand an officer's just tried to have a word with you on the way into the car park.
She sort of shouted at me in a plainclothes personal car, so I didn't have a clue who she was.
Apparently you've told her to pee off.
Did I?
That's what she said to us. If that's the case, that's not acceptable, is it?
Well, that's why we wear independent witnesses that never lie.
Right. What do you mean by that? Right, okay. Well, yeah, I've got mine on as well, so...
Well, thanks for letting me know.
Can I take your details, just so we know what you're doing, and you're recorded on our systems, and we've got the fact what you're doing, and to make sure you're not up to no good?
No, I'd rather not, if that's okay.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I haven't done anything wrong.
Well, I just need to make sure that you're not, like, sort of in line with any terrorist groups or anything like that you could be using for hostile reconnaissance or anything of that nature.
Do you suspect I'm a terrorist officer?
Well, I don't know until I speak to you. Do I? Until I take your details and check you through.
Is that what you do with everybody?
If you're being verbally abusive to people, then you have technically committed a public order offence, for which I would require your details.
Okay.
They walk up to him already convinced of their own version of events. In their view, he had insulted the sergeant, and they speak about it as if it is already proven. But News Now Yorkshire doesn't get drawn into a long argument about it. Instead, he calmly points to his body-worn camera and reminds them why independent recording is so important in situations like this. That moment highlights the clear difference between both sides. The officers rely on a verbal claim, while he has video evidence capturing everything that actually happened. Footage can reveal the full story, not just one person's interpretation. It also protects everyone involved by showing exactly what was said and done. Soon the discussion takes a more serious turn. When he decides not to provide his personal details, the explanation suddenly shifts to checking whether he could be linked to any terrorist organizations. Rather than being a clear reason, it feels more like a way to increase pressure. The situation changes from a simple disagreement to something much heavier, even though no solid grounds are presented.
So that's why I'm asking you for them as well.
Right.
So could I have your name and date of birth and address, please?
What, you think I've committed a public order offence?
Yeah, because an officer's just told me that you've sworn at her in the street.
Well, I need to get her to make that statement then, because she's lying.
Well, she's just told me as she's driven in that you've sworn at her.
Did she?
Yeah.
Right, well, I'll be making a complaint about her then.
That's absolutely
And if you
fine.
take my details, I will have to sue West Yorkshire Police.
That's not a problem. You feel free to do so. The reason I've explained the reasons why I'm asking you for your details.
What happens if I don't give my details?
Then you're potentially committing an offence.
Well, I will.
It's a lot easier if you do, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to give my details.
Okay.
I will if you tell me that I'll be arrested if I don't.
Well, potentially you may be. Yeah, it may make your arrest necessary under Section 24 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, because your name and address can't be verified. Right. And I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed an offence.
What reasonable grounds is that?
But I've been told by a fellow officer that you've been verbally abusive in a public place, which would be a Section 4A public order.
I have it all
offence.
recorded, officer.
That's fine.
Do you want me to show you the recording?
Not at the moment, but I want.
Because I could show you the recording.
I want you to.
And then you would know.
Details, and I've explained it to you. You've asked me to explain it to you, and I've laid it out plain and simple.
This is the point where their reasoning starts to fall apart. They insist that a public order offense has taken place, but their claim isn't based on anything clearly happening at the scene. Instead, the entire accusation rests on the sergeant's word alone. When News Now Yorkshire calmly asks what would happen if he chooses not to give his details, the reply goes in circles without giving a clear legal explanation. The response suggests that refusing to provide information might lead to another possible offense, which could then be used as a reason for arrest. But that kind of thinking doesn't reflect how the law is supposed to work. It sounds more like repeating the same threat in different ways rather than presenting real grounds. Clear rules and proper evidence should guide decisions, not assumptions or pressure. They also mention Section 24 of PACE, but bringing it up only raises more questions. An arrest must be necessary and supported by facts, not simply because an officer holds a certain rank or finds it convenient. In this case, the only support for the claim is a colleague's statement. Even when he offers camera footage that could quickly clear up the situation, they choose not to watch it. That choice stands out, because when evidence that could resolve the issue is ignored, it naturally raises concerns about the real intention behind the decision.
I don't think I have to give my details, officer.
You do.
I do.
You've been verbally abusive towards somebody.
I haven't, though.
She's alleging that you have.
I haven't,
As
though.
I said before, I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed a public order offence.
But I haven't.
Okay, listen to me. Because of that nature, that's why I require your details. And as I've explained to you, if you don't give me your name and address and can't verify who you are, it may make your arrest necessary in order to ascertain those details.
Will you arrest me if I don't?
I'm not saying I definitely will, but I'm saying it may make your arrest necessary.
Am I being detained right now?
At the moment, because I need your details.
Yeah, I'm being detained.
Potentially, if you don't give me your details, you may be arrested as well.
No, I just want to check if I'm being detained right now.
I understand why you can't just give me your details.
I'd rather not. That's the point.
But I'm asking you to.
If I have to by law, then I will.
You do have to by law, yeah.
Okay, and what section of law says I have to?
I'm telling you that because you committed an offence.
I haven't though.
I suspect that you have.
You suspect that I have?
I suspect that you have.
Okay.
I only need reasonable grounds to suspect. That's 2 to 3 out of 10 on the scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
I've got that reasonable suspicion.
Yeah. Can you let me know that lady's name or collar number?
She's a sergeant who was off duty at the time, coming into work for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, because
she's a police
she's
officer.
lied to you. Now you threatened me with arrest, which has now made me have to give my details. So I will have to make a call to my solicitor.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, okay.
You go right ahead.
They corner him with an argument that doesn't really make sense. The message is simple. If they can't confirm who he is, they might arrest him just to find out his identity. But that's not the real purpose of arrest powers. It starts to look like the officers simply want his details and are using the threat of arrest as the easiest way to get them in. Arrest shouldn't be used just because someone chooses not to cooperate. It also shouldn't rely on a single suspicion that hasn't been properly checked. At this stage, the so-called reasonable grounds don't seem reasonable at all. They appear more like a convenient explanation created to justify the pressure being applied. Because of that pressure, the situation becomes difficult to push back against. Facing the risk of being taken away over a weak and repetitive argument, he finally provides his details to stop things from escalating further. It isn't because the law clearly forces him to do so. It's simply the only practical way left to bring the situation under control. When someone agrees under that kind of pressure, it isn't true cooperation. It's a decision made to avoid bigger trouble. In moments like this, what looks like compliance on the surface is really just someone giving in to the weight of the situation.
I can't believe she lied to you, officer. I have got it all recorded though, just so you know.
You could, if you want to make a complaint.
Yeah, I will be making a complaint straight away. Yeah, definitely.
I haven't got
Is that what she actually said to you? I told her to pee off.
As I drove out of the gate, she was driving in and she said, "Will I have a word with you?" Yeah. Because she'd spoken to you and you told her to, I'm not going to say the full word, but pee off. You understand what I mean by that?
I understand what you're saying, but she's lying to you, you know that, don't you?
Well, if she's lying to me, she's lying to me. If it's on your camera, then you've got grounds for a complaint.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
I'm not lying to you. I can only go about.
You know, last time this happened, I got £1,000 for it, you know. Right. Yeah. That was at Humberside though. What was that? What was that in relation to though? Because someone said I was committing antisocial behaviour, so the officer unlawfully used Section 50 of the Police Reform Act to get my details, just like you've unlawfully used Section 5 to get my details. Okay. And then they offered me £1,000 for my trouble. I haven't used Section 5. Oh, what did you use? You've potentially committed an offence under Section 4A of the Public Order Act. Oh, okay. Section 4A. Yeah. And that requires me to give my details. It doesn't require you to give your details. You just told me it did. What I'm saying, no, you're twisting my word. The officer keeps repeating the same word again and again. Potentially. Potentially an offense. Potentially a violation. Potentially something serious. That single word carries the entire argument because no clear evidence is being presented. Instead of pointing to something definite, the claim stays vague and uncertain that he also mentions Section 4A, but that law isn't meant to apply based on a guess or a feeling. For it to matter, there must be clear intent and a real effect on someone. Simply suggesting that a person might have caused offense at some point isn't enough. Laws like this require specific facts, not assumptions or possibilities. What makes the situation even more confusing is how the section being mentioned keeps changing. At one moment, they refer to one legal power, then quickly move to another, and then switch again. That pattern doesn't show clarity. It looks more like they're searching for something that might fit. If a genuine offense had already been identified, the legal basis would stay consistent instead of shifting around, and on top of that, none of the powers they bring up suddenly give them automatic access to his personal details. Mentioning different laws doesn't create a new right to demand information. It simply adds more confusion to a situation that should have been straightforward from the beginning. What I'm saying to you is because I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed an offence. Yeah. If you don't give me your details, it may make your arrest necessary under Section 24 of PACE. Oh, okay. Because your name and address cannot be verified. Right. And I suspect that you've committed an offence. Well, that's the full explanation. Thank you for that. That's what I said to you the first time. Well, I didn't get that explanation, so maybe you didn't explain it properly. Maybe I didn't understand. Well, you understand it now, though. I do, 100%. Yeah, yes. I can't believe she lied to you, and she's a sergeant. She's going around lying to you guys. Do you want me to show you the video?
No.
Is it because you know that she's lying?
I don't know that she's lying. I
think you know. Okay. I think you know. I think you do know.
We're literally just going off what we've been told.
Yeah, what you've been told is a lie though, is what I'm saying. I could show you the video now and show you that she's lying. What do you guys reckon? Your personal opinion?
My personal opinion doesn't matter. I don't work. My personal opinion has to stay at home when I come to work.
Well, use your detective skills then. What do you think?
This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Speaking to you.
Well, yeah, I could have showed you the video.
To find out your version of events.
No, you know what you're doing is getting my details unlawfully.
Yeah, I'm not. I've already explained to you the reason why.
I could have showed you the video and then you would have no reason to get my details.
If you're happy to show me the video, I'm happy to watch it. It's not a problem.
Well, there's no point now because you've already given my details.
At this point, any sense of fairness begins to fade. He keeps offering the easiest way to settle the issue. Simply watch the footage. It could quickly show what actually happened. Yet the officers refuse to look at it. Instead of checking the evidence in front of them, they continue relying on what they were told earlier. One officer even openly admits she is only repeating what someone else reported. That isn't a proper evaluation of the situation. It means the decision is being shaped by secondhand information rather than direct evidence. His explanation isn't carefully considered or compared with the facts. It's simply pushed aside. Rather than reviewing the video that is available right there, they stick to a version of events they already believe. Choosing a report from someone else over clear footage raises serious questions about the process. Evidence that could settle the matter is ignored while assumptions are treated as truth. Then something interesting happens. After they finally collect his personal details, the video suddenly becomes important. Only then do they show interest in watching it. That timing speaks for itself. If the footage truly mattered to the situation, it would have been checked at the start. Looking at it afterward doesn't feel like an investigation. It feels more like an attempt to fix a problem after the fact.
Might as well speak to my solicitor now and get my £1,000.
You've offered to show me the video, then that's fine.
Yeah, then you'll see that your Sarge is a liar.
Well, show me it if you want to show me it. I'm not bothered.
Am I being detained?
No, you're free to go. Thank you for giving me your details. Just be careful where you're flying it.
No, I won't.
Obviously, bear in mind that side of the gate and the fence is private property.
Oh no, I've already been over there.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go over again.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But bear in mind that you may be spoken to again by an officer if it's deemed that your drone's interfering with any police activities or anything like that.
All right, well, I've got permission to be here.
From
the Civil Aviation Authority.
Okay, have you got that in writing? Have you got anything on you can show me to confirm that?
Do I need to?
Well, I'm not just going to believe you, am I?
Well, I'm not just going to believe you that your sergeant's a liar.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to get drawn into this back and forth with you.
You've already been drawn into it.
I've spoken to you. I've ascertained what you're doing. As long as you're not interfering
well, what happened to the Section 4A?
That's fine. I'm not going to take any further action against it.
No further action?
Yeah.
Why? Because you know that she's a liar?
I'm going to give you words of advice.
No, I don't want your words of advice.
Well, I'm going to offer
you can stick your words of advice.
Right, I'm going to offer them anyway.
No, I don't want them.
The moment they finally receive his personal details, the entire situation suddenly loses momentum. The talk about possible offenses stops, no further action is taken, and the urgency that filled the conversation just moments earlier disappears. All the earlier mentions of public order, serious suspicions, and different legal sections fade away almost instantly. That shift doesn't feel accidental. If those claims truly carried weight, they wouldn't vanish the moment his information was recorded. When an issue is real and serious, it usually leads to the next step in a process. Instead, everything simply comes to a halt as soon as the details are collected. This makes it clear that resolving a legal concern was never the main focus. The central goal seemed to be confirming who he was. Once that objective was completed, the discussion had nowhere else to go because there was never a larger plan in place. Looking back, the earlier use of formal legal language now feels different. It wasn't guiding the situation toward a proper outcome. Instead, it worked more like a strategy to reach one specific result, getting his identity. Once that was achieved, the entire conversation lost its purpose and quietly ended.
I speak to people in future.
But I didn't speak to anybody in any. She's a liar. I never told her to pee off. She's an absolute liar. I will be making a complaint. Okay. I will be suing. Thank you very much. What's your details?
6468.
From the station?
Yep.
Your details?
290.
From the station?
Yep.
And her details?
She'll find those out for you. I believe her name's Sergeant Wiltshire, or Wiltshire, my apologies.
Sergeant Wiltshire?
Yep.
And her numbers?
I don't know them.
Well, I need her numbers.
I don't know them.
We'll have to radio through then.
I don't know them.
She's the one that made the complaint. I need to make a complaint about the lying sergeant.
Just ask to speak to Sergeant Wiltshire. She works on Team 4 Patrol South at Ellen Road. That's all you'll need.
Well, can't you just radio through and ask for her details?
No, because she's not actually on duty at the moment, because she was in, as you said, she was in a civilian car in a civilian clothing, so she's...
You could ring the control room and ask what her call number is.
I can't do that at the moment because I'm too busy, but you've got all the details.
But you weren't too busy to come and stop to talk to me?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, see you later, sausages.
I prefer bacon.
He explains that the matter is heading to court because the entire encounter was based on claims that, according to him, never actually happened. A sergeant stated that he used insulting language, but he strongly denies it. Other officers then repeated the same claim without first checking the video footage that could have shown the truth. Instead of verifying the facts, they relied on the statement and used the threat of arrest to push him into giving his personal details. Once they finally obtained that information, everything else suddenly faded away. The earlier talk about offenses, serious concerns, and possible action simply stopped. That shift makes the situation feel less like a normal disagreement and more like a misuse of authority. When decisions are made based on a story rather than verified evidence, taking the matter to court becomes the only clear path to review what really happened. Later, when News Now Yorkshire asks for the officers' call-in numbers so there can be proper accountability, the response is not a direct refusal, but a dismissive attitude. They claim to be too busy to provide a basic detail that would allow the interaction to be properly examined. Yet only moments earlier, time clearly wasn't an issue when they stopped him, questioned him, warned about arrest, and pressed for his personal information. That contrast stands out. The officers were quick and determined when they wanted answers from him, but suddenly unavailable when he asked for simple identification in return. Video evidence that could have settled the accusation earlier was ignored. Information that could help with a formal complaint was treated as unimportant. The pattern seems clear. The pressure increases until cooperation is achieved, and once that happens, the interaction quickly comes to an END, and no further action follows. No offense is pursued, and the interest disappears just as quickly as it began. If the situation had truly been about public order, serious suspicions, or any genuine concern, it likely would not have ended the moment they received what they wanted. If you found this breakdown useful, consider liking the video, sharing it with others, and subscribing to support the channel so discussions like this continue to reach a wider audience. I'm the Audit Assessor, and this was episode 11. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.